Nice house, huh? Nice house, huh, YouTube? Good afternoon. I'm in East Dayton, off Xenia Avenue, right off the Steve Wayland Boulevard underpass, right by State Route 35. And anyway, this is Xenia Avenue and Highland Hills, and this house caught on fire. I'm not sure how long ago, but I do know this house, I'm pretty sure was a addition of East Dayton slumlords live in perfect harmony with their slum tenants. And why this house just was not allowed to just burn out, I don't know. This house over here has got about, 25 feet. And the only thing the fire department would have had to do was just protect their house right over here and just let this fall to the ground and be an emergency demolition. And why it wasn't, I don't know, because this house has to be one of the worst ones I've seen. But anyway, I made a few videos this morning. It's Sunday afternoon, by the way, and of course the city wasted $1.5 billion on various downtown boondoggle projects. But yet they can find money for that, but yet they can't seem to find money for these vacant and burned out houses like this. This has to be one of the worst ones I've seen on the east side of town for a while. As you guys know, I actually live in this neighborhood, so I am familiar with this area, and I filmed several hundred videos from this area. So it's time that the citizens really start to hold their city leaders accountable for the tax dollars that's being misused and being misspent, and then vice versa. So there's only a couple houses on this street, so it's time that these houses just come down. If I could find an addition to the East Dayton Slumlords video that I did on this, I'll post it. But the city recently announced there was a few $1 million that was going to go towards, or however much it was, towards vacant house demolitions. And they mentioned a few target neighborhoods. Twin Towers, which is where this is at, Burkhart, and Westwood. And there was one other that I'm not sure off the top of my head right now that were priority neighborhoods. So we'll ultimately see if this house ends up coming down in a few months. And obviously you can tell that there clearly used to be a house right here, maybe one that was right over there, but the city and the neighborhood is just falling apart. And why us citizens are allowing this complete and total mess and train wreck is beyond me. Because it's long overdue that we hold the city accountable for their tax dollars. I don't care if they have to freaking put a lien on whoever owns this fucking house just to get it tore down, but there's no excuse. I don't care whether it's the property owner, the bank, whoever the hell owns it. It just needs to come down. This is an embarrassment right here. This is a complete and total disgrace. So, in this presidential election year, we really need to emphasize stuff like this, and how cities across the country, especially in this part of the country, the Great Lakes, Midwest, Rust Belt region, are just falling apart. And there's no excuse why this house just was not demoed right away. It should have had an emergency demolition, because there's debris that can fall from this, people. This is extremely dangerous. What I guess the city probably figured, well, there's only one house on the other side, so they figure, well, they don't give a fuck if the whole city just falls apart, as long as they can continue to force the issue of downtown Dayton. And you have all this debris on the sidewalk. That's unacceptable. Somebody could easily step through that, step on that, really hurt themselves, and vice versa. But this is pathetic that we have allowed our city to get in this bad a shape, and why the citizens here continue to allow this and don't hold, you know, our leaders accountable for our tax dollars being spent. As you guys know, you know, the coverage of these abandoned and burned out houses throughout the city, but especially in East Dayton, have been a mainstay on my YouTube channel for the last 2.5 years now. So you can see this house right over there from the Steve Wayland Boulevard, you know, right there, real easy. It sticks out like a sore thumb once you look over to your right from there, and from 35 as well. So, but I will give this to the end of the year to see if this actually gets cleaned up or not. But there's been houses that have been sitting for, the one on Torrance that I filmed a few times, they finally tore that down about a month ago. That was vacant for, that was burned out for like 3 years. Now that was nowhere near the condition of this was. But since this is a target neighborhood for demolitions, let's see the city put their money where their mouth is and actually tear this down. But I'll believe it when I see it. Oh look, right there, YouTube, there was a piece of debris that just fell from that house. So this house has debris that's fallen off it. That could endanger other property. There's no excuse for this. So yeah, right there, it was right off of that house. You guys probably heard the sound fall to the ground right there. But it's long overdue that we, you know, make the city leaders get their house in order. Stop spending money on fucking downtown. And you know, as I mentioned it before this morning, you know, they got their hand out for another property tax, all that's going to clean up blight and do clean up the neighborhood. The same old bullshit that they use to sell us on every other freaking tax levy. But yet they spent $1.5 million in various downtown boondoggle projects. So why should we give them more of our money when they're squandering it, and yet they're not even taking care of the city, or not making the owners of these properties or the banks be held liable for this crap? But anyway, YouTube, that's going to be it for this one.